To the campaign trail, and we are 1 week away from Election Day in Canada. The leaders are crisscrossing the country, making a final push. We're getting a better idea of the polls as well. According to the latest Nanos poll, the Liberals now have a lead of about 7 points. They are at 43.7, the Conservatives at 36.3, the NDP at 10.7. To preferred Prime Minister, Mark Carney continues to maintain his lead there. Mark Carney is at 47.7%. Pierre Poilievre is at 33.2%. Jagmeet Singh is at 6%. Let's bring in CTV News political commentator, former senior advisor to then Prime Minister Paul Martin. Scott Reid standing by. My friend, we're 1 week away. What are we going to see in this final stretch?
Well, we're going to see a couple of interesting things. First of all, we're going to get to see where the leaders go, and that will reveal whether they want to reveal it or not, where their hopes and anxieties lie. So you're going to see, I think, a lot of candidates around 9:05. I think you're going to see the leaders visiting. We know the Toronto area is where we've seen Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre today. I think he's going to spend a lot of time here in this next week because he needs to make up some ground coming from behind, and this is the place to go. That big band of seats in the Bramptons and Mississaugas, the Yorks. He's looking to change some votes there. And I think, you're going to see the leaders probably pay a bit of attention to Quebec. The buzz going around is that there's some anxiety that perhaps the Bloc are ticking up a little bit. They've had a bad campaign. Their numbers have been uniquely depressed. And so I think you'll see in particular the Liberals might want to spend a bit of time in Quebec, try to rally their vote there and keep any Bloc momentum blunted.
How about the Liberal platform finally being costed at $130 billion in new measures over 4 years, adding another $225 billion to the federal debt? I mean, that is pretty eye-watering.
Yeah, and I think, it's created some challenges going into this last week for the campaign. I mean, to be fair, there isn't a single leader who can honestly look into the television lens and say that they're going to maintain all the transfers for healthcare and education and people's pensions and other personal transfers, that they're going to increase rapidly the amount of money that we spend on defense, and they're going to try to Trump-proof our economy and therefore set aside monies to help industry and employees. You put all that together, you're going to be increasing spending, much less if you're going to cut taxes on top of that. But that has not been the secret of Mark Carney's success so far. The reason Nick Nanos has him leading as preferred prime minister is he's brought a laser beam focus, particularly at the beginning of this campaign, on Donald Trump and the critical question of who do you trust most among these leaders to take on Trump and to manage this challenge of tariffs and all the economic security that comes with it. And the platform, the sort of broad, comprehensive nature of it, the large dollar figures, it felt very Trudeau. It felt very business as usual, felt very government as usual. So I think he's got to pivot away from that as quick as possible. Get the focus back on Trump, 51st state, rallying the country around the cause and the fight that's to come. That's got to be the secret for the Liberals. And for the Conservatives, you want to keep pounding away on those pocketbook and financial issues and hope that you can dent Mark Carney's armor.
We're coming up on the final day of advanced voting. It ends tonight, and we have heard stories of record number of people. I mean, I know just anecdotally, my own family members, Vancouver, waiting over an hour, Kitchener, Ontario, over an hour, myself in Toronto. I went once, too long of a line, had to go back second, third time before I finally could vote. Your take on what that might indicate?
Well, I think most people are expecting a very large turnout. Some people are speculating we could see the largest voter participation that we've had in a general election in years, maybe decades. Because, this does have the feel of the 1988 election. I'm going back a bit, but when we had another election that was focused around trade and our relationship with the United States, high turnout, high salience, you get the feeling that people are focused and dialed in on this election. They sense that it's not just a run-of-the-mill vote. There are real broad issues at stake, and they want to pick their leader. And so there's an enthusiasm. But, I mean, either one of the parties could read this positively. If you're the Conservatives, they've got such a get-out-the-vote machine. They know where their voters are, and their voters are motivated. So maybe you read that as positive for them. If you're the Carney campaign, you know that older voters who have indicated they're positive in supporting the Liberals in this go-around, you know that they're more likely to vote. So maybe that suggests there's a lot of organic turnout, that you don't even have to do the job of dragging them to the polls. They're carrying themselves there.
Scott Reid, CTV News political commentator, former advisor to Prime Minister Paul Martin at the time. Good to see you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. See you, Todd.